Any thoughts on the IVF bomber being pro-mortalist slash anti-natalist? I think it's really cool how you guys assume that I possess all knowledge. So rather than inform me of a situation and then ask for me to cover it, you'll instead say, like, I assume that despite having been on a day trip over the weekend, you are familiar with everything that's happened. Can you just share your thoughts on it? In this case, you're correct. I do know everything. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that, like, one of the VGG chatters who was so disgruntled with my pro-natalism segment, you know, I didn't realize that I'd rile him up like that, you know? Not to take credit or anything, but yeah, there was an IVF, there was a fertility clinic bombing, and it wasn't done by, I assumed that it was done by like a crazy Christian anti-abortion person who assumed that a fertility clinic would do abortion care because, you know. But no, he left behind anti-pro-life writings. Yeah, it was a Reddit bombing. But literally, like, everyone must die. Investigators said Bartkus died in the blast. Bartkus attempted to livestream the explosion and left behind writings that communicated, quote, nihilistic ideations that were still being examined to determine his state of mind. It's probably safe to assume this individual is not mentally well. That's just my guess. Yeah, the only person who died is him, right? The only person he killed was himself? At least that's ideologically consistent, huh? Such a gay fucking political ideology to be radicalized by. Yeah, no kidding, right? His anti-natalist dies. Hard to argue with that. Is being gay back to being bad? Always has been. In a way, I feel like this guy's ideology and actions are kind of more honest and consistent than most modern right-wingers. I think that a lot of right-wingers today, especially young men, genuinely just want to maximize suffering for everyone because they're upset their life isn't going the way they want it to. This guy is just actually, like, acting on that rather than obfuscating it with a bunch of ideological bullshit they don't actually believe in. Isn't that still bad? Yeah.
It's hard to tell if it was just the car. To me,
Could this happen more often then? Well, yeah, sure. I mean, he's basically doing the same thing every school shooter does, right? I mean, you're looking at like a kind of generalized misanthropy. It's not rational. These people aren't like mentally well. Bartkus allegedly described his fanatical pro-death beliefs in written and recorded manifestos as being against bringing people into the world without their consent to spare them from future suffering. Okay. Look at this lovely SoCal infrastructure right here. You like that? You like the 8-lane wide road with like nothing next to it? Yeah, it is like an airstrip. Police found 2 rifles along with ammunition next to the exploded vehicle. Okay, did he not mean to kill himself? Why would you bring along guns if you were planning on doing like a suicide bomb? Did he accidentally blow himself up? Fucking idiot. Somebody said apparently he described himself as a misandrist. That's funny. Like in an incel way. I think he just mixed up misandrist and misanthrope. Nah, it's pretty common, I think, for the like incel types to fucking hate men too, right? In the like seething Chad gets the girl, even though he's like mean to her kind of way. Lab was not harmed. Oh, they didn't even lose any like fetuses or whatever. Described himself as a misandrist and pro-mortalist. Basically, I'm anti-life, and IVF is like kind of the epitome of pro-life ideology. Okay, all right. This guy's like a lol cow, basically. Interview with father of the suspect. Isn't this like rubbing it in a little bit?
Do you know about the beliefs?
I've never known to believe anything like that before. No, I've never even heard of them talk about something like that. I haven't seen him in 12 years. Last time I saw him, he was a good kid. He liked hiking. He liked to go mine hunting. He liked to go rock hunting. He liked his computer. He was happy-go-lucky. He used to stick up for people. If somebody, bigger kids were picking on smaller kids, he would help the smaller kids. They make the big kids leave him alone. He had a good heart, and it's hard for me to believe that this was him. They don't know him like I know him. They want to judge he's this and he's that, and they're glad they should have shot him, and they don't know his heart. He had a good heart.
You know, poor guy.
Something changed him. Something along the line last year or so. Somebody started getting to him, brainwashing him or something, I guess. I don't know. People change.
Hasn't seen him in 12 years. Well, yeah, because he's probably with the mom, right? I don't know. Internet cults are so fucked up. Yeah, the rise of the internet's probably the biggest contributing factor to stuff like this. Not necessarily to crime or murder, because those have always been going on, but to like these specific kinds of like crazy lone wolf terrorist attacks, you know, school shootings, anything in that ballpark. How a bunch of those far-right school shooters are definitely being like groomed by older Nazis on like Discord or whatever. He was radicalized by r/anti-natalism. I mean, he was on r/natalism or anti-natalism. I don't know if that was necessarily where he was getting it from. I am curious how the subreddit's doing, though. Moderator statement regarding today's bombing in Palm Springs, California. Comments are locked. Look at their top post of the week. What is it? Is it bad? Is it indicative? Top post of the week. Okay. Oh yeah, the article. How do you even get started on that pipeline? Dude, there were literally people in this chat who were doing like weird anti-natalist binges when I was talking about the need to increase the birth rate. That's a really weird ideology to get into. Like, it's weird to be talking to an audience, then it's like, oh, just some of the people watching think the species should go extinct, but are still, like, otherwise living their lives normally. What a weird misanthropic inconsistency in their belief system. It's like, yeah, it's part of it, I think, is people being, like, edgy and contrarian, but apart from that, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing to think, in my opinion. Literally suicidal thoughts as an ideology. I do think that, like, that, you know, the anti-natalism magically leaving my body when I start taking SSRIs or something type shit. This is his manifesto. Skimming. We can finally begin the process of sterilizing this planet of the disease of life. We love our anime villain terrorists. You're gonna burn in hell for this. I know, not a question, but I just wanted to say your God definitely doesn't exist, but if he did, I'd choose Satan over your evil God. Did you ever— oh God, it really is like the Reddit terrorist. Did you ever think that maybe the Bible is just slander against Satan, and that Satan realized what a fucking creep your God is? That's incredible stuff. Holy fuck, he sounds so annoying. Yeah, I'm glad the bomb only took out him. Holy shit. He's posting like no one's posted in a decade. That's true. People used to post a lot more earnestly like that, but nowadays you have to be deeply mentally ill to post like that, you know? Read the last paragraph. It's probably the most revealing. Sure, why not? What finally put you over the edge? I've known for a few years now I wasn't going to allow myself to make it past my 20s. By the way, weirdly common for gay people to talk about themselves like this. We should denormalize that. I don't know. Like, people are always like, well, you know, past that point, it won't even matter or whatever. And it's like, if you want to live today, when you're 30, that day will be today for you in the future. And you'll also be like, damn, I want to live. So you should probably start acting like it, okay? A lot of Gen Z talks like this. Yeah, the performative self-debasement and nihilism really doesn't serve your interest, like on a class level or individually. Recently, my best friend Sophie killed herself. She got the guy she was living with to shoot her while she was sleeping, her preferred method. Jesus. And I don't think I really knew how much it was going to affect me. I never related to someone so much, and I can't imagine I ever would again. We were both anti-sex. Don't mistake for asexual. I'm talking like r/anti-sex. Misandrist, veg, anti-natalist, negative utilitarians. This is what I mean about the internet, man. This is what I mean about the internet. Both also had borderline personality, quote-unquote, disorder. Anyway, we got along quite well, and it was very nice, especially when you feel like you are in an apocalypse and no one else seems to get anything. If I recall correctly, we'd agreed that if one of us died, the other would probably soon follow. It's just too much of a loss when there's nobody else you really relate to significantly. Yeah, well, I mean, it really does come down to that, right? Like, it's all ideology and principle and shit like that, but then you get under the surface and it's like, well, I'm sad for very human, personal reasons, you know? Calling for a ban on all political ideology. I agree. No, I agree for sure. Regular people weren't meant to have ideologies. They were meant to, like, want to have a pint with the lads and get off work a few minutes early. That's just not being aware of your ideology. Exactly. Stop saying political ideology. There are no politics involved. He's literally listing political positions. You should have to pass a mental health assessment to access the internet, maybe? Yeah, in order to use the internet, you have to insert your hand into, like, into the like, what is it, the Bene Gesserit pain box, you know? And it, like, reads your hormone levels. And you have to keep your hand, or I guess your left hand, in it the whole time you use the internet. The Gom Jabbar. Yeah, the Gom Jabbar. And you have to keep your hand in there, and it, like, reads your... It causes immense pain, because that's your punishment for using the internet. But it also, like, reads your hormones and, you know, make sure that you've got enough lithium in you and so on. Half of this chat wouldn't pass Vaush, and you know that? Yeah, and that's probably for their benefit, to be honest with you. Nah, I want to live. Nico Robin posting. Best part of the damn series. The Gum Jabbar is the needle, not the box. Listen, I haven't read or watched it in a bit, okay? I need to rewatch it. I need to rewatch a lot of things, all right? I used to believe in anti-natalism until one day I grew up and realized that I didn't hate kids, I just hated responsibility. Then it all became cringe. Yeah, there are a lot of anti-natalist types who are also in the, like, they're also in the, like, anti-kid. What's the subreddit for that? Because this is also a very Reddit ideology. What's the name for that? Child free. Thank you. The child free. Yeah. Well, they'll see a bar has a sandwich board outside, and written in chalk on the blackboard will be like, Tuesdays are kids' night. They can't drink, but you can bring them in and play board games. And the post will be like, fucking crotch spawn being brought into my favorite bar. Why should I have to listen to your shitty children screaming and playing when I'm trying to enjoy my 8th pint? I don't think you should get to say breeder unless you're gay and have lots of anal sex. If you're saying breeder and you're just like a straight incel, I think that that's cultural appropriation and you're being problematic. Is there anything wrong in your mind with being child-free as long as you're not cringe about it? If you don't have kids, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with you not wanting to have kids. You shouldn't force yourself to have kids if you don't want to have kids, right? I'm just talking about, like, people who are like that. Yeah, you can be child-free without being r/child-free, is what I'm saying. Can I say breeder to a person with 4 kids trying for a 5th? Are you gay and do you have lots of anal sex?